Now, when we talk about the role of Darakaraka in a birth chart, it has two very important factors which it defines in every birth chart, and it is the lowest degree planet. We will discuss about everything. I will explain you the points of Darakaraka in your 12 houses, as well as planets associated in your 12 houses and what do they mean if they are your Darakaraka. Now, let me first explain you the concept of Darakaraka. So, the Darakaraka is the planet positioned at the lowest degree in Vedic birth chart. Within the framework of Jaimini astrology, it serves as the polar opposite of Atmakaraka. That means whatever your Atmakaraka is, Darakaraka is exactly opposite to it. It serves money being the lowest form of possession in the spiritual realm resonates perfectly with the essence of this Darakaraka. So those who want to see money in their birth chart, because in the hierarchy of gods or hierarchy of spirituality, money has been given the least value, and that is where Darakaraka comes to play. So Darakaraka is not only a spouse significator, which we will talk, but it is also related to money. Now here, uh, when we talk about the Darakaraka, is the planet that has traveled the least into its current sign in Vedic philosophy. The further a planet travels, higher degree, the more experienced, more soul exhausted that energy is. Because the Darakaraka is the lowest degree, it represents the densest point into the physical world. So if you see this birth chart, you will have something like this. And if you see there are degrees written below the planets like 2801, 17. So the highest degree will be Atmakaraka, and the lowest degree, for example, someone is 00 or someone is 01, 2, 4, 5, 10, whatever it is, depending on how the hierarchy is. That planet is Darakaraka. That planet is the least evolved planet in your chart and can tell about money, tell about your spouse who will come to your life to serve that Darakaraka so that you can both enter into a higher state for your next births. Now, if you talk about origin of Darakaraka, many people only think that okay, it is Jaimini Sutra only which talks about Darakaraka, but that is wrong. While many associate the Charakarka, that is movable significators, system exclusively with sage Gemini, the seeds were actually sown by Maharishi Parasara in the Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra. He discusses about this, but he did not give that much importance. He just spoke about it, and then Gemini Rishi, did all his research. Parashara introduced the concept of planets as significators based on their degrees. He viewed them in a way to see how the soul, Atma, interacts with various layers of existence: your mother, your father, your work, your money, your spouse, everything. Gemini, a disciple of Vyasa. Now, Vyasa is the one, is called Veda Vyasa, the one who wrote all the Vedas, son of Parashara. That is, Gemini is third in line. He is not connected to blood relative to Parashara, but here it says that it is the disciple of, Vyasa, that is son of Parashara. Took the seeds and developed the Jaimini Sutras. He transformed these movable indicators into complete predictive system, emphasizing that while the birth chart Lagna shows the physical body, the Charakarkas show the destiny of the soul. Now, Darakarka plus money and the lowest possession. That is what in the spiritual system, the Atma soul purpose is to evolve and get into moksha. The last of these 7 layers comes the money. Money is not supposed to be one of the most important factor in the celestial system, and that is why whenever we will talk about past astrological things, like when we talk about astrology written 5000 years ago by Parashara Hora Shastra, money is the least matter to Parashara. But right now, when we talk about astrology, mostly the first question or the second question is related to finances when we go to any astrologer to show our charts. In the spiritual hierarchy, the soul is the submost at the highest, while physical resources, money, property, and the physical body of the other, the spouse, are the most tangible and heavy. The Darakarka represents the person or resources that grounds you to earth. Without a stable Darakarka partner or material stability, the Atmakarka cannot, complete its mission. So Darakarka has to be the lowest degree planet, is an important planet because it is where the soul is seeking. If you don't have support, if you don't have collaborations, you will not be able to go ahead. That is what Darakarka does for you. Modern Gemini practitioners describe the Darakarka as soul's mirror, and these modern practitioners are very great. B.V. Raman sir, there is Sanjay Rath, there is K.N. Rao sir, very powerful. We often seek in partner Darakarka what we lack in our own soul's experience. Just as money is a medium of exchange in the material world, the Darakarka is the medium of exchange between our soul and the external world. Like our, you know, I will go ahead and there is a very great point which will clear all this problem. Modern Jyotish in ancient times, Dara specifically meant wife. However, the current evolution of Jyotish, influenced by scholars like His Greatness Mr. K. N. Rao, sir, he expanded the definition of Darakarka. I come from that education. That's why I will say whatever my guru says. It is now used to analyze business partners and large scale public interactions as well. So Darakarka is not only now only considered with wife, it has to do with your any partnership where you are making a relationship. That is where Darakarka also comes into play. Earlier, there was no partnership business. When the astrology was written in the very primitive stage, there was no partnership. Everyone was individual. They were born with taking away the family lineage only altogether. That's what it was. Now, because it relates to the seventh house, which is second from the sixth, it increasingly viewed as an indicator of financial stability and how one purchases or sustains their daily routine or daily lifestyle. So remember this: the desire root, the modern psychology in astrology views that Dharak arc as the root of our desires. It is the lowest because it is most primal, the basic human needs for companionship and survival. So, this is what it means. We will discuss about Dharakarka in 12 houses and understand that if your Dharakarka is placed here, what kind of results you are supposed to expect. Remember, we will keep in our mind three layers. Number one is the layer of your spouse. Number two is the layer of your what you call partnerships and business, and number three is the layer of your money. These are the three layers that we'll be discussing, and I have done it more advanced this time. But I've gone into each and every planet also to tell you that if they are sitting in the first house, second house, fourth house, wherever it is, every planet how they behave if they are a Darakarka, just small pointers, so that we can learn more and more and try to. You have to give me a lot of data here. Put down your messages, comments, what exactly you feel when your Darakarka is in that significant house that I'm talking about. We'll start with the first house. The first house is the house, we say that it's our self and self, and now here it acts seventh from the seventh. Always remember, Darakarka, the most comfortable for the place for Darakarka is the seventh house. Now it is seventh from the seventh here, creating a very powerful mirror effect for you and for your spouse. The identity of spouse, it intertwined with you. Now, wealth here, because see, spouse is exactly like you. So, whenever we have Dharakarka in the first house, you will see that you get a mirror of your own personality, mirror of your own desires, mirror of your own ideology. That is what you will see in many times. If it is a very malefic placement, then there will be someone who will come to destroy that from your life. Like, then your personality will be, more of, we can say, survival instinct is what you will get into, because that other person can destroy you as well if it is very malefic. Now, understand here, in this position, wealth, if Dharakarka is present here, the collaborations, etc., begins from you only. Wealth is often generated through your personal brand, physical presence, self-made efforts. It's not going to be that we went into a collaboration and the wealth has started coming. It has to be you who have to drive that other person also. If Dharakarka is in the first house, you become responsible for your spouse rather than your spouse becoming responsible for you. That is what how I have seen many charts. The spouse may mirror your habits, your personality, like whatever you like to eat, whatever you feel happiness in, spouse may feel happiness in that simple way as well. This makes the partnership a center pillar for your self expression. Now, financially, this place really says that the material security is a direct reflection of your vitality and how you present yourself to the world. It does not mean that money will come automatically. You have to work crazy hard, go very crazy when it comes to Dharakarka present here. Remember the work of Dharakarka. If it is, for example, my Dharakarka is Jupiter, today I am doing this work. Your Dharakarka is Mercury, then trading can be very important for you. If your Dharakarka is Saturn, then getting into hard work, or some very labor, physical labor is something that you may like. Darakarka also says that fulfillment comes when you are working in the field of Darakaraka, because the Atma is completely dependent on Darakaraka. It is what is going to take you towards the whole. We are very immature, right? We are maturing. So we will mature to Darakaraka and then move up to Atmakaraka for the soul fulfillment. Now, when we talk about this placement as well, now your primary engine of your own prosperity becomes you only. There is no other person. So this Darakaraka also says that the spouse progress as well as your progress completely depends on your action also. It does not depend on action of your spouse only. In this situation, I have seen many cases when Darakarka is in the first house, the spouse is absolutely dependent on you. They cannot even move. In fact, there is one or two scenarios where I saw where Darakarka is here and the spouse said that I don't even know what is my salary. It directly deposits into my account and my husbands take care of it. Or, in some cases, the if the wife has a Darakarka here, then she says my husband has never worked. I am the one who's running the whole family. So that is the kind of situation that happens here, because here you are the one who is driving everything. There is no one else. Now, depending on the placement of planets, for example, sun becomes your Darakarka here in your first house. You will have a very authoritative spouse who will mirror your ego, bringing wealth through leadership, high status branding. There will be egoistic battle between you and your husband or wife or what or spouse it is. In fact, when it comes to Darakarka being in the first house present like sun, it can also say that the lot of collaboration that you will do will be through government or through semi-government organizations, something to do with NGOs, something to do in government, etc., from where you will extract wealth. Influential people will be a part of your life. You will know many influential people, but with the weakness of this planet like sun, when it is at very low degree, you don't really know how to use your power or how to use people around you. Same way, when moon is here as your Darakarka, then you will see that you will have a nurturing partner who reflects your emotions, creating wealth through public popularity and intuitive self-care also. So you'll have a very nice person who will be like mother. In fact, in your business partner also, you may find partners who are now you have to see, this is just a very generic way, but moon is now associated with Rahu becomes your Amatya Karaka. Rahu becomes, or it is associated with Saturn. Then it depends of the nature that the moon is now receiving the conjunction of other planet can depend on how your Darakarka will be. So you have to comment below and let me know that if there is any specific placement and what can you expect there. Now Mars is here. Mars is very bold and protective spouse who will, drive your physical vitality also, gaining wealth through competitive self. This is a very good placement if you have Mars as Darakarka here, and by chance your spouses or your business partner's Darakarka is a benefic or is a friend of Mars. That is, we can say it is Sun, it is Moon, it is Jupiter, it is Sun, Moon, Jupiter. If that is one, their Darakarka is an absolutely wonderful collaboration you will do. If you by chance have Mercury here, you will have a lot of fight between each other with your spouse or business partner. But the power, sometimes there is a saying which I consider very nicely about, and that is, sometimes once we are humiliated, we really become very powerful and we show the world. And this Mars sometimes can also be a point of humiliation for you, that you may get humiliated by your spouse, that okay, who are you, I have done this, and suddenly the fire comes into and say, I will make it in this world. So that's exactly this Mars. Mars is fighting planet. So remember, it is fighting. Here, if Darakarka is Mars, you will have a quarrelsome spouse or a quarrelsome business partner. It does not mean separation all the time, but it will be a quarrelsome relationship. Same way when Mercury goes here, an intellectual, very youthful partner, you will see that your husband or wife is always, it's not aging. You will see that it's a very young energy, very sharp energy. Now, if Saturn is with Mercury, conjunct Mercury, then it will be a challenge. But if not, then you will see that it is a very, very energetic, very powerful personality, very over the top spouse that you will have. It will bring lot of wealth. Your spouse and you can bring together wealth through communication, through trade, through business. So this is a very great placement of Mercury for doing business. In fact, in the first house, Mercury is so powerful that it gets directional strength, Digbala. If your Darakarka, Mercury is in the first house, then you have to know that after marriage or after partnership is when you will really really prosper in life. Remember, only it has to be Darakaraka. If it is any other different Karakas, then there is a different story altogether. But if it is Darakaraka, then after partnership, collaboration, marriage is when your wealth will become extravagant. Now, coming for Jupiter, Jupiter is the second planet in the first house who gets directional strength. And what is Jupiter? A wise, traditional spouse who will guide your identity, bring wealth through personal counseling, dharma, righteous people. Here you come across righteous people who are going to collaborate with you and make sure that even if you say sometime that, okay, let's go this way, they will say, no, let's come back. Let's do righteous things together. That is the kind of spouse that you will find in the first house if it is your Darakaraka. Going on with Venus, now here a beautiful and a very refined partner, very diplomatic partner is what you can get. They will be very nice to other people, but when it comes to their own family, they will be like very, very, what is protective of their family. Like, see, what is the nature of Shukracharya? He was very nice with all the gods, but when it comes to demon, he used to protect them with all his, power and grace and whatever we can call. Here, your partner mirrors your desires. Remember this, Venus is a planet of desire, karma. It says that, okay, what do you desire? I'm going to give it to you. So your wife or your spouse or your husband will be the one who will show you that exactly this is how I will fulfill your desires. That's what I see here. Now here you can be creating wealth through luxury, charm, personal magnet. This is a diplomatic placement of Darakaraka. Here Darakaraka acts as a diplomat. You have to be very tactical. You have to make sure that you are very manipulative in the right way, not in the wrong way. Like, make sure your work is done, no other person get harmed. That is the kind of placement this Venus has in the first house if it is a Darakaraka. Because see, spouse is one story, but money is another story. If you want to earn money, you have to be a diplomat. And then Saturn comes here. You will find a very strict personality that is going to be your spouse, that is going to be your business partner. You will be lenient, it does not care, but your spouse will be very, very aggressive, very powerful here. A mature spouse who grounds your persona, like bringing stable wealth through long-term personal endurance. Sometimes you will see that if your Darakaraka is Saturn and by chance faced in the first house, you may have a very elder spouse. Like, for example, you're born 71, you'll have a spouse of 65. Like, so, the age gap will be 5, 7, 8, 10 years. Like, that is the kind of age gap that you have if your Darakaraka is Saturn. Because even with low degree of Saturn is still mature. Remember this, Saturn does not say that if I'm low degree, I'm act like a kid. It is mature. The only thing is the severity of Saturn's punishment is lesser in lesser degrees. The severity of Saturn punishments goes higher in higher degrees. That's what I have seen. Well, that means destructive. Like, my Saturn is my Atmakaraka. Just imagine, fourth house. I couldn't even see my mother. Like, no parents, I couldn't see because the intensity, 28 degrees, Saturn. So the punishment was so harsh that life would be dependent on that punishment. Here, the punishment is not there, very slow, very little punishment that Saturn gives you if it is a Darakarka. So understand, Darakarka, if it is associated with any kind of Atmakarka, Amatyakarka, Natrukarka, Putrakarka, any other Karakas, any other significators, then there is that second layer also that comes to your chart, which needs to be examined very properly. We cannot just say that, okay, there is a layer here, let's see. It has to be examined properly. That what does that mean? All the very best. I hope that this is too detailed. Please go down, comment in the description. Tell me about your placement of Darakarka. What do you feel about it? Is it happening the same way, or what do you miss here? I want to know everything. Thank you. Darakarka in the second house. Now, second house is the house of your wealth. It is eighth from the seventh. That means a secretive wife or secretive spouse. Sorry, every time wife comes because I am a male. I'm sorry. Secretive spouse. And they will come to your life and bring sudden transformation. This is the placement. Really, I'm telling you, I have seen such charts where either after marriage or after business partnership, you go from rags to riches or riches to rags, depending on the placement of planet here. And this is the most important placement for wealth. Darakarka in the second house means wealth. In fact, if you are watching this for your family, for your children, for anyone, if you're watching it first, like, oh, I saw mine, let me see what is his, my child says. Then see and understand that wherever Darakarka will sit, that will also show the source of income for you. Here, the source of income can be through the inheritance of your spouse or inheritance from your partner, like business partner. Suddenly, business partner says, I don't want to do it, take everything is yours. That is the kind of placement this second house Darakarka can do. The spouse or the partner that you will have lot of depth into them. They will always be very calculative, they will always be very money minded, they will always be very, you know their center will be money. Their first, there comes their self respect, second comes their money, and then third will you be there in their life, that okay, you are also there here. Their mood, their intimate mood also depends on money. Like if everything is going very well, if wealth is very nice, then they will be very happy, very romantic, everything. But if it is not there, then they will become very agitated, very angry. See, now this is the primary house of wealth. That means your financial life is anchored in liquid assets, family lineage, speech driven industries. So you may find sometimes, you know spouse through your family, spouse through some kind of, what you say, some kind of business that your family is doing, or maybe from family friends. That is where the spouse can come from. We will see that if you're you will see that these kind of spouses that you will have, their family lineage is doing business family to family and continue doing that business. So doctor, then daughter is also a doctor, then son is also a doctor. Postman, then daughter is also a postman, son is also a postman. Lawyer, son, like the spouse's father is also lawyer, spouse is also lawyer, and his brother is also become lawyer. So lineage, it shows that there is a continuation in the lineage of a spouse. While if they have changed the direction, that can be depending on any association, collaborations of planets in the second house. While the spouse is a very important factor here, because they manage the secrets or longevity of the family's resources, family's wealth. Your lowest possession, remember, money is the lowest possession that a man can have, which is considered in this current yuga, current life, that it is the biggest, because if the money, without money, no one can function. The spouse here is actually nothing but a cash cow for you. So it is going to come, it will show you either this is going to bring cash, money, or this is not going to bring money. This is bring to values of their whole family lineage, or not going to bring, come and destroy your family lineage. Depends on the placement of your Darakarka here. This is often once a very karmic lesson regarding how to balance personal speech with the shared values of the partner. Sometimes you may be too giving, like too easy to say. Spouse here becomes a protective shield for you to, hold on to secrets. That is the, role of Darakarka in the second house. Now understand one more important thing, that Darakarka is also related to your business partner. This also means that, see, we are like doing everything is going very nice. Suddenly we meet someone, one of our friends says that, what, let's you and me start a business. Either you will ruin your friendship and that business will go to zero, or either you will make something so great that the whole world will talk about it. Now, this is the role of Darakaraka. Darakaraka will be the one that will be deciding the final position. That are you going to get powerful or no? Many people ask me, like, can I do a business in partnership? Look at the Darakaraka, look at the placement of Darakaraka, look at the signification of Darakaraka, look at the houses that Darakaraka rules, look at the associations it has made with other planets. And not in only one chart. It is also to be seen in D1, D10, D9. D9 is a very important chart for Darakarka, because D9 is the chart of, we can say, spouse, that we call. All the time you will see that spouse will be written around D9. So the placement of Darakarka in D9 also tells that how, where you will meet your spouse, what kind of nature your spouse will have. Is the spouse going to be coming from a, what kind of background, family oriented background or a very isolated background? Who is the planet? When Darakarka Mahadasha Antardasha comes, that is the time that you may meet your spouse, you may meet potential partners. Like someone will say that I want to raise $200 million for a company. I have such clients, by the way. And you will say, I want to raise it. When do I find a round of investor? Easy. Look at Darakarka, that okay, when is the Darakarka Antardasha, Pratyantardasha is coming, and tell them, okay, try between this period till this period, you will find a potential partner. And they can come from this kind of a background. As simple as that. So that is how you will see Darakarka in a birth chart, not only for spouse but also for business associations. Now go here. When Sun is, Darakarka here, a spouse from a very prominent lineage who will transform your speech, you're, bringing wealth through government, family assets. Such people are, their father are very powerful. The father of the spouse is very powerful. Or you may meet an influential spouse or a business partner who has great government contacts. They can immediately, turn your life upside down, like from bad to good. If a moon comes here, then you will see that it's a very caring kind of a partner who manages family transactions, being really fluctuating in their thought process, because second house is a maraka as well. So always remember, second house is a place where it can be a little bit of end of things also. So such people are emotionally too difficult to handle. If your darakarka is moon and it is in the second house, they will always be on an emotional turmoil. Even if you like they are very, they are love seekers. They want to seek love, they want to seek association, they want to seek that, that nurturing, the nurturing ability that they are supposed to show it to you, you will show to them. If Mars is here, then Mars is a very sharp spoken spouse who handles financial crisis. They will be the one who will stand like soldiers with you, that okay, if there's a financial crisis, don't worry, we will come together here, I will also work very hard. So they are very great support here when it is Mars. But they may also bring, you may see that if Darakarka is in the second house, you may get, your spouse may bring you money through land. If Mars is through land, through property, through metals, precious metals like gold and silver, they can bring prosperity, or they can be the one that is there driving that into your family wealth. And they're aggressive speakers, so they may speak very, very foul sometimes, but this is the nature of Mars. Inside they are like, coconut. Outside they are like the shell of coconut. Inside there's a softness, but they will speak some rubbish as well. When Mercury is here, you will find a business mind partner. You will see the partner is coming from a lineage of business. They are not meant to work under other people. You will see that they always want to talking about business. Let's do this. Let's start this. Very sorry to say, sometimes very immature also, because Mercury is the very immature planet in the solar system. So you will see that there sometimes this immaturity may work very nice for you, and you may really, really achieve everything. But sometimes this may bring you a lot of trouble as well. They will bring, money through calculation, through accounting, through family based trades, like family lineage wise what is going on. They may also bring that to you as well, because always Mercury, remember, it is in the shadow of Sun. So Mercury also little prince, right? It behaves like the king, it wants to become the king. So that's why, and prince is always an immature person, so that's why you will see that traits in the spouse as well. When we talk about Jupiter here, it is a very spiritual. It's not money that the spouse is bringing. It is the values, the knowledge, the wisdom that is for. In fact, if your Darakarka is Jupiter by any case, then your spouse has come to your life as a teacher. That okay, this is what the spouse has come to make you learn something. And they will always get into traditional way, like they will always get into traditional understanding of values. The more values will be traditional. They will say, okay, let's not go old school, is where we can say old school spouse, old school business partner is what you will get. When it is Venus, it is a very luxurious partner who will transform your sense of worth. They will make you understand that who the hell you really are. how do we want to put ourselves in this society here. They will bring a lot of wealth through jewelry, through art, high end values. They can be diplomats. They can be having a very diplomatic nature. They can speak something at that point of time which you never ever expected to be happening. Like they can be, they're so sharp and so, what do you say, the presence of mind is too great. If it is in benefic state, if it is in malefic state, then these person destroy luxury as well. So there are two ways to look at it. And if Saturn is there, again, it's a very orthodox, very frugal, traditional spouse who will manage inherited debt also. Assets bringing wealth through cautious and slow. They will not say that, okay, let's jump into it. They will say, okay, let's first close all those problems and then we will start a new problem. So they are very patient when it comes to taking any decisions related to finance or financials in your life. They may also come from a background related to finance. if you have a Saturn Darakaraka. Okay, they may be slow in accumulation also. You may see that they are a little bit of more kind towards the outside world rather than us ourselves. That is exactly how Saturn can work. But when it comes to the maleficness of Saturn, the more malefic Saturn in the second house, the more better for you. The more benefic it is, the more challenge for you. The more malefic, you will have a cunning nature. Your spouse will have a cunning nature, which is very good. If you have a cunning nature, then no one else can take advantage of your kindness. That's exactly what Darakarka in the second house does for you. Moving on, you need to comment below and let me know what is your Darakarka. Is it in the second house? What kind of signals does it give? Is it related to these planets? Are these things matching to you, or what is there any other influence of planets on there? That will give me more clear idea about how you look at your Darakarka or how your Darakarka is reacting. In fact, look at the position of Darakarka in D9. Whatever house it sits, that is where the spouse will lead you to. Remember this, simple as that. If your Jupiter, like for example, my Jupiter is my Darakarkam, it says in the ninth house for me in the D9 and eighth house in the D1. So eighth house is the house of occult. It has led me to occult personally. And when it comes to my spouse will lead me to dharma. That is exactly what my luck activates after my spouse comes into my life. That's how I will look at Darakarka in the D9 as well. Simple, okay? Moving on. Third house. Now, when we talk about third house here, it's a very important placement, and I always call third house as the battlefield of anyone's birth chart. And it is ninth from the seventh. That means this is a very important placement. Why seventh? Because see, Darakarka is that seventh layer which says that the lowest degree planet in your birth chart out of the seven bodies. And those people who count Rahu here. So always seven will be taken for Darakaraka because it comes at the seventh number in a horoscope. And honestly, the significator of spouse can be the seventh house only. Now, here, this is the placement where your spouse will not only act as a warrior with you, but also acts as a guru. Someone who will, who's a lucky charm in communication skills, how to get other people to do hard work. If your Darakarka is in the third house, then sorry to say, you become a slave of your spouse. They will keep, they will have a hunter in your hand. They'll keep making you work. We do this, do that, do, because they're here to guide you. They're here to make your, what you say, that lazy be lazy. I was supposed to say something. Lazy, go to put in action. Wealth is often, you will see that if your Darakaraka is in the third house, you will see sometimes your spouse can be from the communication field, marketing field, writing field, journalism field. It can be field related to hospitality. It can be field related to sales, media. This is the kind of spouse that you may get, or they may be very good at these areas in life if they are not working actively. And adventure is a part of them. Third house is adventure. If your Darakarka, your spouse comes and your adventure in your life begins, they will take you places. Short distance travel will be their strength. They will be going, saying every 2 weeks, I'm feeling very bored. Let's go somewhere. Let's go to some nice place. That is the kind of nature of your spouse will be there. In fact, you will see that if you want to achieve material success with Darakarka in the third house, you have to continuously have movement and keep putting effort. The more and more movement will be there, the more and more effort, and the spouse will keep making you, like pushing you to do all this. In fact, it is a very great placement for third house Darakarka to have business partners, because it is ninth from the seventh. That means these people really become your guru, your mentors. And it is very good if you want to start a business with a guru or a mentor. That will be the perfect way to go about it. Now, also, your financial grounding. This is a very important thing of a Darakarka. Darakarka brings financial grounding as well. It will come, you know, it will come from your ability to market your skills, while the spouse will provide the dharmic or the philosophic motivation to keep striving. One important thing here is that we cannot never ever forget siblings play a very important role. Sometimes you may find your spouse through your siblings as well, through your friendships, through your little bit of neighborhood also. Maybe you and your spouse would have been living in the same neighborhood in child, in whenever you were young, and you meet when you are adults, and you say, oh, you know what, I was there, oh, you were also there, okay, we went to the same school, we went to the same college, we had same friends, we have same, our siblings are friends. These are the kind of things that you may hear from your spouse. Sometimes you will also see that spouse here can come through your, we can say, your siblings friends can become your spouse as well. That is also what we can see from this place. Because it is the house of short distance travel and exploration and battlefield, you may also find spouse sometimes through traveling. You're traveling and you meet the significant one there. There is a great possibility. In fact, now look at Darakarka in the placement of D9, and you will clearly see the qualities of your spouse, that okay, this is what it is. If there's in the seventh house, they'll be partnership oriented. If they're in the second house, they'll be money oriented. If it is in the sixth house, they will be service oriented. So you will see the point of your partner in your D9. Just see Darakarka in D9. After this, there's the video where we are making in few days. Darakarka placement in D9. That will tell you where is the spouse coming from, what is the nature of the spouse, when you're supposed to meet your spouse, and how you're supposed to meet your spouse. Now, because you will see that third house is in this situation, in this point right now, sun comes here. It is going to be a very courageous spouse who acts as your lucky guide, bringing wealth through media, authoritative communication, bringing always they are connected to this divine communication. They are receiving that, and they will tell you if you act on it nicely, you will get profit. They are the one that can also bring you, success when it comes to litigation. Because see, this is ninth from the seventh, and this means litigation also works from the third house for the spouse matter. If your third house is very good, then it also tells you that your divorce will be successful or not successful. Ninth house is the house of judgment. Remember this, it is the house of dharma, it is the house of righteousness. Right judgment comes from ninth. So this is the house for judgment from your spouse and relationship and partnership. And if sun is there, then you are in good hands. You will get a lot of support from your superiors, seniors, government, whatever it is. Same way, if moon is there, it will, there will be an emotional person, and your luck will come after efforts. You gaining wealth through, travel, through nurturing, abilities. Your spouse will show all this attitude in your chart. It will show that however harsh they are, but they will be nurturing. I was reading an article in Australia. There a woman came, a nurse came to her house, and there was a killer who was supposed to kill her. The nurse was so powerful that she actually stabbed him rather than the killer creating problem. And after this also, see, this is the level of parakram, that is, she was so powerful. But after that, she said that, tell me who sent you here, and then I will call the ambulance for you because you are bleeding too bad. Just see this quality of nurturing even in such disastrous position. This is that kind of Darakarka in the third house. Mars. Now here you will see that your partner can come from technology, something very, very, we can say very harsh, very powerful, very quarrelsome also, because Mars quality is like quarrelsome here. Now they can bring wealth through sports. From sports also your spouse can come. Your spouse can be a sportsman, or they may have a great interest in sports somewhere. They may see that you may also see that, these are the person who will use harshness to drive your dharma. Like they will say, okay, no, get up. This power we need to show dharmic involvement. That is this Darakarka in your third house. It is a very powerful placement. If Mars is here, you are super, where you have a very good, you will just have a quarrelsome spouse and a quarrelsome business partner, but it is very good for you to, how do I put it? You to actually work really hard. Otherwise, you will say sit quietly only. Mercury is here, you will see a very clever communicator, very clever spouse. Luck will come through networking, through, creating wealth through sales, digital media, digital marketing. If you and your spouse wants to do any business, and Darakarka is present here, and look at your D9 as well. If it is present in the third house, then you should start your digital marketing, etc. business, because that will be absolutely favorable for you. If Jupiter is here, you will see that a philosophical spouse, someone who gives logic behind everything, someone who always tells you that you are wrong. Let's be righteous. Make your communication right. Make your actions right. This is the kind of spouse you will see always as a teacher. Teacher is your spouse. Like in fact, your spouse can even choose their profession to become a teacher, or some guide, or spiritual mentor, or coach, or something like that. That is where you can get your wife from. If you see Venus here, a very creative and artistic partner who will make your efforts, you don't know about painting. They will say, okay, this is the painting by this is the jewelry by this person. So, you will have a very, very, what you say, affluent partner in your life, and who will drive you towards doing, towards using diplomacy in everything that you do. They will say, okay, your communication should be not like this, it should be diplomatic. If your mom is saying this, let's give them a diplomatic answer. If your sister is doing this, let's give them a diplomatic answer, not a very straight answer. So she will be the one who will be teaching you the diplomacy in your life. And if Saturn is there, then you will see a very hardworking spouse who will bring slow maturing luck. It will be there, luck will be there, but very slow. Gaining wealth through technical writing, manual skills, hard work, labor work. This is the kind of spouse that you can get. And even with all the comfort, they will always be very devoted towards working, like working very hard, and also very grounded. They are very humble people. If you have Saturn, if Saturn is afflicted by Rahu and Ketu, then I have no idea about how that Saturn is going to act, depending on the placement of other planets. But generally, Saturn being a Darakaraka is always very calm spouse. Sometimes there is also possibility that spouse is very elder to you. Spouse can come in a little bit of, like, if your age is 28, spouse can be 35. That kind of spouse, like that can the difference age difference can happen. Spouse leads a very long life here. Why? Because this is eighth from the eighth. This means that Darakarka is present here, means spouse is going to live farther. You are going to go first, spouse is going to go later. All the best. I hope that you have found some answers here. If not, then do comment below. Let me know, what does your Darakarka say? Where is your Darakarka placed? How is it bringing importance in your life? What kind of results you are seeing from your Darakarka? And then we will discuss more and more in detail here on the comments below. All the best. Moving to the fourth house. Now, this is again a very important, because it is 10th from the seventh house. This shows the karma related of your Darakarka. Here, unless and until your spouse's career or public status is not great, there will be no foundation for your domestic happiness. You will always see that spouse is the key area which is on constantly struggling either in work. If they have any problem in their work, you will be screwed. Like, you will say, what happened to my spouse? Why is like this? In fact, your business partner also. If you have business partners, look, position here, then you will be constantly struggling with the melodrama of that business partner of your spouse. Here, the spouse may indicate the wealth she may bring, or he may bring the wealth from real estate, from fixed assets like vehicle, land. And this is a great placement of Darakarka, because here the spouse is emotional. The spouse also manages, or forces public reputation for the family also. It not only this, they say that how other people should look at us. Even these are the spouse that gives maximum sacrifice for their life, even if they don't have a very good in-laws, or situation in the in-laws is a little bit of difficult. These are the one that completely ignore, because they want to make sure that they are stabilizing the public reputation of the family, that everything is so great in our family, there is nothing, no problem. There may be underlying problem, but they will show that everything is very good. You may fight with your spouse like this minute, and next minute if they meet someone, it will be so normal, you will say, oh, the problem never happened. That is the shift that your spouse can do emotionally if you have Darakarka in the fourth house. In the spiritual and the material hierarchy, you will see that your grounding is found mostly in home and the mother's energy. Your spouse may also emit the energy that your mother emits for you. And that's why sometimes, if Darakaraka is in the fourth house, your spouse and your mother become rivals to each other. Because now here, mother says, how can she or he come to my life, and my child has now become absolutely not dependent on me. Mother's biggest fear is that how my child will be treated after marriage, either male or either female. And here, mother and spouse does not go along very together, because here it shows that, okay, there will be problem, because now the mother energy is like from this coming from the spouse. The karma related to this house is very heavy. So unless and until you do remedies of this Darakaraka, your spouse and your mother, or your mother will not never ever come along together. There may be hatred sometimes. They may not show on face, but inside they will have hatred. Mother also and spouse also. That is something that I have seen sometimes. Here, the spouse can also come from, you know, mother's friends. Like, it can be more of family friends who get married to you. Or you meet your spouse through your mother's contacts. That also we can see. Sometimes through you will see that your spouse and you share the same hometown also. You may come from same hometown or same birthplace. So it is very rare, unless until a malefic conjuncts or a malefic becomes your Darakarka, that you marry a spouse of a foreign culture. This is more of your roots. Spouse who are connected to your roots. If you have this Darakarka placed with Rahu or with Ketu or with any other foreign planet or the 12th house lord, then this can be showing that your spouse can come from a foreign country or their residence is very far away. But otherwise, mostly, if your Darakarka is very well placed in the fourth house, very comfortable here, then you'll find comfort in very close, what you say, close location of your spouse. Now, if we discuss about sun being the here, then obviously a status conscious spouse whose career builds your home. You will see that if your Darakarka is your sun here, then you are completely dependent on your spouse for your home, home security. Even I have seen if Darakarka is sun and other person is having a much more higher stable positive job, that means your spouse, you will still be depend or you are having a very stable job and very powerful, and your spouse is not even like 10 levels closer to you, your spouse is very low, but still you will be dependent on spouse too much, that okay, the spouse should be, because your spouse does not only bring money, they also bring you, what is it, government help, they bring you guidance, they bring you, if sun is they give you power. Because of their association, you can feel powerful. That is exactly what your spouse does for you. Same way, when moon is here, a very motherly professional partner who will anchor your peace, creating wealth through hospitality, psychological comfort. They will make sure that they are always you will see that I have married, I'm telling you, this is the most difficult planet here. Moon gets digbal, that means directional strength here. That means your spouse will be very good, but then that rivalry with your mother can be a very big challenge for you if moon is your Darakarka here. And by chance moon come with a malefic crazy, if moon comes with Jupiter example, then you are lucky, then everything is very good. But here when it comes to the malefic, then there's a challenge, man, between your mother and your spouse. There's fighting, always difference of opinion, taking things to the different level only altogether with this Darakarka here. Now if Mars is there, it will be a disciplined and a very protective spouse, whose work will provide you a lot of security. They'll say that, okay, till my spouse is working, I have no challenge. Even if I want to do business, I want to try business. If Mars is Darakarka here, you should take a risk of doing business, because your spouse will be able to handle every pressure that you have in your life. Work from home is what happens here when Mars is, in your fourth, Mars is Darakarka and it's in your fourth house. Sometimes you if it is very malefic or it is afflicted by a malefic, then you may go very far away from your spouse. You will have isolation from your spouse, like those people who work on merchant navy, for example, like someone who's working going 9 months away and come only for 3 months. They have Darakarka Mars here in the fourth house. When Mercury comes here, you will see that your spouse is very multitasking, your business partner is very multitasking. You are seeing everything related to very young energy. In fact, sometimes your spouse can be like, what do you say, can be coming very young to you. Like if you are 35 years of age, your spouse can be 22 years of age. That kind of difference happens if Mercury becomes your Darakarka here in the fourth house. And unless and until in this situation, when Mercury is very good, because it is supposed to be bringing wealth through large properties, wisdom based status, accounting, finance, anything to do in terms of numbers, mathematician. Your spouse can be a great mathematician also, like she can be very well, he or she can be very well in maths or numbers. That's also an indication of Mercury being the Darakarka. They come in your life and explain you how to balance numbers, like how to make sure that we make a schedule or a Excel sheet for us for expenses. If a Jupiter comes here, you will see that a very respected, high ranking spouse who provides spiritual peace, bringing wealth through large properties, wisdom based status. Sometimes you may also see that here, spouse is a teacher, or spouse is just like a copy of your mother. You will say, whatever you are saying, my mother speaks the same. That's the kind of situation that you will have here for your spouse. Venus, it will be obviously very beautiful, charming, very kind. You will someone who will beautify your inner world, not only your outer world. You will feel extremely content with your Dharaka, with your spouse, with your business partner as well. You will see that you will create wealth through luxury, vehicle, aesthetics. Everything will come to your life. Your wife or your spouse, your husband will bring this to your life, that okay, you know what, we should be using this, we should be buying this, we should be experiencing this. That is the kind of spouse that you will have. But with Saturn, you will see a very hardworking spouse. You may feel that this person is the hardest working person on this earth, and you may feel kind towards them as a, but they will always bring a very long lasting legacy. It is so good to have Saturn in Darakarka position in the in the fourth house, because they bring stability to your children also. See, after Darakarka comes, then Putrakarka, like before that, Putrakarka is there. So we will understand that, okay, what kind of children will this kind of a Darakarka raise? Will they be able to reach there? They will. Obviously, we are all children. Then we grow up. Then we have kids. Then we become mature. Then we want to now take control over their lives till the time they are adults. So we know to understand this Saturn helps very, very long and steady approach towards kids also. Very good for you, your spouse or you, that they will bring stability on a longer term. They will be the one who are working in one company for 20 years. And they say, now we will retire from here. Don't worry. We are safe. This is my pension. We are safe for the old age. And this is the kind of maturity even in Darakarka Saturn has. Degrees are the maturity of planets, nothing else. Huh? The more the degree, the more mature. The more mature a malefic, the more difficult it is. The less mature a malefic, the better it is for us. That's what exactly Saturn is. Okay, all the very best. Do comment below. Let me know how do you feel about this Darakarka series. How do you think about your Darakarka? What is your Darakarka? Is this something resonating with you or no? Because this is my personal research. I don't have any what I feel is what it means. So if it is resonating with you, right below, if there is any combination with Darakarka, you will see that the every the lowest degree planet will get influenced by other planet, right? Because automatically the other will say, oh, I'm telling you, do this, try this. People will say, okay, I am not so much in influence or so much in position, let me try what he's saying or she's saying. So any other planet that is with Darakarka or any aspect of Darakarka will enhance or debilitate the qualities of your spouse or your business partner or the wealth in your life. And close your eyes and see and understand your Darakarka. Whoever is your Darakarka, they will have a their quality will have a role in your life to bring in wealth. If their quality does not bring wealth, then you are missing out something. The quality of Darakarka will only bring wealth in your life. If it is Mercury, your you know immaturity can bring wealth sometimes. If it is Mars, your action can become wealth. If it's Jupiter, your wisdom, your knowledge can bring wealth. So you will always see that Darakarka has a very clear connection with wealth in a birth chart. Okay, do comment below. Let me know your views. All the best. See you. I think this is becoming too long video, but this is what this series is about to be. You have to go into depth of all these Karakas. Let's go to the fifth house now. The fifth house is 11th from the 7th. Now, this shows that this is a very ambitious spouse, someone who's socially also very available, very connected. And here, if your Darakarka is sitting in the fifth house, that means mostly love marriage. Secondly, it will be the one that your spouse will bring you crazy luck in your life. It is, if Darakarka is in the fifth house, that means spouse is not from this lifetime. It's not a new soul. It's someone you know from your past. You will know them so well. In fact, business partners, you will know them so well that, okay, you know what? I know how to deal with him. I know what I likes are, what your dislikes are. That's kind of power of Darakarka in the fifth house. The spouse's social circle, the spouse's friends will directly impact your life and will bring greatness to your life. And also, this is a highly creative placement where wealth is often speculative, comes from intelligence, advisory role, investment. So that is also one great thing. So those people who have Darakarka in the fifth house, their wealth can even come from speculation, like share market, stock market. They must have made great wealth there. They may get wealth from children as well, because this is a house of children. So you may see that wealth is coming from children. You never expected that my child will be in such great position that my old age will become so nice because of your Darakarka placed here. Partners here, if you have spouse and Darakarka in the fifth house, they will always be so creative. They will have very far-sighted vision. They will be having goals, like, this is our goal we want to achieve. And you will say, I don't keep goals. They will say, always, let's make goal. Let's make this our goal. Let's, they will always drive you towards more of goal-oriented tasks. Also, your material life is anchored in your past life. Purva Punya, because this is the house of Purva Punya. So that means where financial gains will feel like a reward for your creative output and the joy brought by the partner. So every financial success that you get when Darakarka is in the fifth house, it does not feel like, that, okay, money has come, I'm more comfortable. You will feel it as a more of a reward that, okay, I deserve this. That's exactly what Darakarka does here. And it is very great, by the way, fifth house Darakarka, because this signifies the energy of Mahalakshmi. Mahalakshmi, that means after your marriage, your luck completely changes. You will see that your spouse came in and all the power happens. Your children came in, your monetary benefit is going up and up, depending on the male and female planet sitting here. More the male planet, more the females will bring success. More the female planets, more the female signs, more the male energy will bring success here. So it depends on, it's always opposite that attract. One great thing about fifth house is also that this is a place, if you have Darakarka here, you will see your spouse is very extremely highly educated, or they are continuing learning something or the else. They're completely into some courses, some classes, some learning, because it Darakarka clearly says that this chart is where the spouse will be very knowledgeable. So they will be constantly, they will having books, they'll be having laptop, always listening, learning something. They can be very great artists, singer, dancers, some little bit of famous also, semi-famous, we can say, that they will have a little bit of fame in their own field, that, okay, this is the best, no one else can do this rather than your spouse. That kind of spouse you may have. Now, with the planets here, the sun will be obviously a very powerful spouse, coming from very great social circles, like royal lineage, we can say. Sometimes they can have great connection towards politics and towards creative people, some very powerful government officials. That is what it shows here. When moon comes here, you will see that very romantic, a socially active partner who will bring emotional profit. Their emotion and their nurturing quality brings you profit, and people then attach with you in your life. For Mars, we will see that a very passionate and ambitious spouse who will drive your gains. That, okay, you know what, let's be very sporty in anything that we do. Sometimes your spouse can be from the field related to sports or tech, or very very daring investment, like, okay, let's do big investment. Let's see what happens here. Let me just put like 10,000, like 100,000 today. Let's see where it goes up or goes down. That kind of spouse you may get here. Same way, when it comes to Mercury, you will have a very witty, very funny, very double meaning spouse. You will have a very funny spouse. You will see that they will bring profits through idea, through technology, through softwares. There is also possibility here that you will, you know, because Mercury is the very young planet, so your spouse will be kiddish, but when they do anything, they will bring lot of luck to your life. Stocks, numbers, advisory, anything you do in psychology, doctor, medical, medicine, everything can be considered here when Mercury is the lord of this fifth house, because they're extremely intelligent. If they're showing a little bit of immaturity, that is because the nature. In fact, it also shows that the kids and the spouse will at a point of time look same to same. You will say that there is no difference between their, what you say, their age. That's how the aging of the spouse happens very slowly when Mercury is the lord of the fifth house. Oh, sorry, when Mercury is your Darakarka and sitting in the fifth house. When we talk about Jupiter here, you will see that a very wise teacher kind of quality spouse you will get. You will see that that influence, they will bring lot of wealth to you by giving you small counseling. And because this is Jupiter is very nice here, it is significator of this house. This also says that there is possibility that your spouse is coming, a teacher from past life has come to you to take you to the next level. That's what your Jupiter says if it is. And Venus is here, then you'll get a very beautiful spouse, very wealthy spouse. They can be in the creative industry, they can be in the painting, singing, dancing, acting, they can be in very creative arts. That kind of spouse you may get. There may be a possibility that spouse is also coming from a diplomatic background, someone, a diplomat, or your spouse can act very diplomatic in front of other people. They're very connected to children, and they will, rather than spending on themselves, if you see Venus as Darakarka in the fifth house, they will keep spending on children, keep spending, and you will say, oh my god, stop, man, buy something for yourself also. But they will keep spending on children. And if Saturn comes here, very loyal. You can trust these spouse by closing your eyes. If it is not with a malefic, every planet, if they are with a malefic, then you are screwed. But if it is not, then that is where this is generic prediction. A very hardworking, very structural, spouse that who will go through structure, go through righteous behavior, wealth with very long-term investments, and very old school, very old social circle. They will have friends. Those your spouse here, if you Saturn is Siddhartha, can have friends who were them from kindergarten, like from kindergarten they know someone and they are friends with them. They have such bond with people for a very very long term. So this is the power of Darakarka in the fifth house of a birth chart. So I hope you liked it. If there is anything, please comment below. Let me know how do you feel, and if you have fifth house has Darakarka, give more details to me, how they're acting, where they came from. Also, look at the Darakarka placement in the D9. Wherever the Darakarka is placed in the D9, you will see the qualities of your spouse. That okay, if it is placed in the fifth house, it is a very creative, intelligent. If it is in the eighth house, they are very secretive. It is in the ninth house, they are highly spiritual, knowledgeable. They are like teachers. If it is in the 10th house, they will be too career focused, career oriented. If it is in the 11th house, they will be social butterflies. They will always be flying from this social to that social area. If this in the second house, they'll be wealthy. They will be the wealth magnet in your life. So everywhere where the Darakarka will sit in your 12 houses, you will see in Navamsha, you will see the place from where spouse can come. And here it shows the connection of your soul to your spouse in your Lagna, in your D1 chart. Okay. All the very best. See you very soon. Do comment below. Let me know what do you feel. And let's move to the sixth house. Dara Karka is in the sixth house. The sixth house is the house of service, your daily work and routine. So you will see that sometimes many people who have sixth house Dara Karka would find their spouse in their daily work and routine. Like sometimes I have seen, and very common to see, that you meet your loved ones in your workplace, like in your office, the place of your karma. Also, it is possible that you may meet them at some health club or something that has to do with more of, where you go for some service, like we can say some volunteering work, is where you can find your partner. Now, this is a very special placement because it is 12th from the 7th house. This also means that sometimes your spouse can be of a different caste, creed, culture, religion, color, and maybe residing very far away. Someone who you never expected that this region also, I could find a woman or a man in this region. So that's how powerful this spouse is. Now, here it also suggests that someone who's involved in service, someone who's in healing, any kind of medical profession, healing, medicine profession, physiotherapy, anything to do in terms of psychology. These are the kind of people that you may come across. And someone who will lead a very private and secluded life, like someone who's not very open. Your spouse can be very introvert person, very isolated person, very secretive person as well. That is what we can see here. Now, financially, it can be a complex placement. If Darakarka is in the sixth house, this means your life will be completely going on and on, up and down towards debt and more debt. Debt accumulation is a key part in your life, and you will get to stress that, oh, every time there is something or the else, and debt is coming on, debt is coming on. See, Darakarka is not only associated with your spouse, it also tells us about the income stream, income source, income generation, as well as what is the accumulated wealth that we have. Here, you may have to point, you have to manage your wealth through overcoming debts. Sometimes litigation also. Enemies play a very important part. Now, in such cases, if you have Darakarka placed in the sixth house, there is a lot of chances that sometimes if the Darakarka of your spouse is not that great, then you can get into a litigation, fighting, a quarrel. Your spouse becomes your enemy also sometimes. So this is a little bit of tricky placement when it comes to Darakarka. Now here you will see that hard work, and as well as lot of service, like maybe jobs, and getting into too much hard labor is something that will bring you wealth. Also, one more time you will see that if you are doing too much, if you're in too much discipline, too much hard work, then your wealth is also very stabilized. Some people, because if Darakarka is here, there is also great possibility that you may earn from your enemies. So those who are lawyers, those who are in law field, those who are in field where you are always earning from competition, earning from enemies, is what this placement tells us about. Now, while there are so many different prospects that can happen in this simple one, sixth house only, but let's go to understand that if planets are placed here from Sun until Saturn, what are the kind of results that they we can understand? If Sun is here, then you can expect your spouse to be a very disciplined and a very private spouse, someone who's connected very deeply to the government, or someone who has roots in the government, someone whose family can be coming through government. Also, because this is Sun and it is the king, it is the soul, such people's spouse can be very pure soul, little bit of egoistic but very pure, like they will be very very righteous kind of people that we will see. And if Moon is here, you will have a very sensitive partner, someone who is emotionally can get disturbed very very easily, like with small things emotionally the partner can go crazy. You will see that you know whenever there will be some crisis or some challenges in your life, your partner, if Moon is your Darakarka here, they will come as a rescue for you. They emotionally they will be so nurturing that in crisis it will be eased out for you. That's how it is supposed to be. When Mars come here, you know your spouse becomes your partner. They become partner to fight the challenge with you. Legal victory, especially if there are family disputes, any problem related to a lot of enemies, the spouse will come here with that vigorous power and make sure that they also eliminate such things from your life. So it's a very powerful placement. In fact, I feel and I have seen whenever malefics are in the sixth house, 8,000, 12,000, they are much better than benefics. Now, Mercury comes here. You will see a very logical, very detail oriented partner who manages your expenses. Now, gaining wealth through a lot of specialized work. Your spouse can be in the field related to healthcare, can be accountant, can be finance, can be something to do with, Mercury is also related to softwares. Mercury is related to healing, naturopathic, such kind of positions, you can get in your life. Also, you will see that Jupiter, you will see a spiritual partner, someone who is very committed towards service, someone who has teacher like qualities, someone who's a natural healer, someone a counselor, someone psychology is what you can expect if you have Jupiter here as Darakarka. See, wherever Darakarka will be there, your spouse will be the reflection of that house for you. It will show that they have major qualities related to that house. Because Jupiter is also connected to the judicial system. That means the guru, where someone who gives judgment, Jupiter and Saturn together. So here, this possibility that you may also find someone from that judgment area. That okay, that this is the person that will tell final judgment, anything to law, cyber security, order, compliance. All this field is where your spouse can come from. Venus can be very diplomatic partner. Someone actually working for the government, or someone who is not working but they have control over everything of your life. They will be the one who will be helping you settle all these debts. creating wealth through this refined healing. They will have foreign connections. They can bring foreign investment. They can bring a lot of partners into your life who can help you grow forward. So, very great placement of Venus here. And then Saturn comes, you will see a very hardworking person, your spouse, someone who's giving their life, their day, their night. They don't are not thinking about anything, just only working hard, hard, hard. This is what someone Saturn kind of person can come here. Service is the major area of sixth house. So whatever your planets will be, whatever your planets, you will see that your spouse is much connected to that energy of service. If it is Jupiter related to teaching, if it is Mars, making sure that they give a good hand to your you say enemies. Same way if Sun is there, they will be connected to the government. Same way if Venus is there, very diplomatic. So depending on the planets, you will see your Darakaraka placed in the sixth house giving you results. Okay, all the very best. Do comment below. Let me know what your Darakarka is and is it in the sixth house? What kind of results have you got? Are you married, not married? Was there any challenge in marriage? If there was a lot of malefic placements in the sixth house, sometimes even if Darakarka is here and if the seventh house lord is also here, then that's not very great because it means that loss of partner, loss in challenge, like problems in partnership and relationship. So, all the very best. Whatever I spoke, it is also applying to your business partner because Darakarka also signifies the business partner for you, not only your intimate love and spouse. It is more than that as well. All the best. Thank you. Have a great time. Do comment below. Let me know your views. Seventh house. Now, in the seventh house, Darakarka is its own Bhavat Bhavam. That means first from the seventh. Here, seventh house is where Darakarka is the most, favorable. You will see that a very classical and very powerful manifestation of partnership. If it is a benefic placement, then you find that desired partner. You find your mirror, something that exactly you desired, looked, felt, believed in. That kind of partner you get, both in the areas of a spouse also and in your love, etc. relationships also. Here, the spouse will be very strong, independent, individual who stands for equal in every sense. So you cannot demean your spouse. Your spouse will always be on the same level. In fact, sometimes if it is very good planet, more higher than you, you will see that they have added much more value to your life than you yourself. And wealth is generated through multiple places, but here mostly it is generated to public contracts. It is seen that retail, a lot of trade is where you will make a lot of partnerships, a lot of small contracts is was will give you wealth overall. See, Darakarka is explained in the beginning, it is connected to your wealth in a very larger scale, because as the lowest degree planet in the realm of spirituality, money is given the lowest importance, knowledge is given the highest. Now, this is the ultimate mirror placement where the material world is navigated through the other money is viewed as shared resources intended for public visibility in the maintenance of social balance. So if you overall see this position of Darakarka, this means that seventh house is where you will see a complete mirror image of yourself. Secondly, a desired spouse. Thirdly, you will see that this spouse actually helped you uh, achieve that social status. And also because business partnership, you will see that some people who have the same exact values as you will find them in your life. By chance, if your planet is malefic here, then you may have a very tough time, because here the person will be same mirror like you but more destructive. If malefic is there, it will be very destructive. Now let's see. See, in the seventh house, whatever happens, Saturn gets the most powerful position because Saturn has directional strength here. So if Saturn comes here, then this is as a Darakarka, then this is a very great placement of Saturn. But other than that, let's understand planets here. Number one is Sun. Now you will feel that something, a spouse that actually made your life more bright. Like maybe it is said in the red book, the Lal Kitab, that if Sun is in the seventh house, I'm just not using Darakarka principle because they don't have any, but Sun is in the seventh house, you find a partner from a royal lineage or someone who is very royal, someone who has that etiquettes, manners, someone who's very affluent comes to your life. And here you can bring wealth through high level partnerships and trade. So this, if your Sun is in the seventh house, try to please upgrade yourself to high level people, where that is where you will make money. Same way moon is there, you will see that a very gentle, public facing partner who will mirror your soul. Exactly, people will say, are you really spouse of each other, or you are brother sisters or sister brother? That's the kind of feeling that it comes with. You're almost the same. Everything you will do in a very similar manner. Now, if you want to see money here, then you'll have to create wealth through a lot of retail business and a lot of mass market appeal, something that is is a necessity rather than a luxury necessity. For example, I'll just give an example. Moon rules milk. Milk is a necessity. Every household will have a can of milk because that's a necessity. So that kind of retail business, what I'm talking about. Same way, Mars, you will see the very powerful, dynamic, independent spouse who will drive your public image, who will be sometimes as a working as a shield to protect you in any partnership. And this Mars is there, so you will always get money from aggressive areas. Sometimes contracts, very complex contracts, which requires some, we can say, gundagardi. How do I put it in, like you being a little bit of mafia kind of a person, you'll have that kind of control over your contracts. Even when you talk about Mars is not 100% related to trade, but when it comes to real estate, is sometimes in partnership. These people, if they have Darakaraka in the seventh house, their partnership in terms of real estate can make them multimillionaire as well. So if you have such position, you should think about it. And if you see your pattern, if you have bought a house or any property or any land, they must have increased in great value because of Darakaraka Mars. When it is Mercury, it is a very, very controversial, business savvy partner who will mirror your intellect. That okay, they say that husband is this, then wife is also this, and wife is so powerful, the husband is also powerful. So they complement each other. That is the kind of thing that we can see. And if you want to only individually see about your career, then this is a absolute great thing for brokerage, for trading, for anything to do in terms of commodities, anything to do in terms of grains, anything to do in terms of what do you say, not pleasure items, we can say more of natural products is what you can work on. If a Jupiter is there, then automatically you are not getting any wife, you are getting a guru, or you're not getting any husband, you're getting a guru in your life, a very noble and a very dharmic spouse. Dharmic means very righteous, very religious, very active, spiritual spouse, and which act as your primary anchor in creating wealth. Always will take you from wrong places to right places and tell you that this not this way, let's go this way. So very powerful. If you're thinking, if you have Jupiter in the seventh house, you can think about getting into some kind of things like religion, counseling, psychology, something to do with more of wisdom oriented work. Edtech, education technology is where you will prosper in your life. And Venus comes here. Obviously, Venus is the most luxurious of all, a very beautiful, very harmonious partner who is the source of your joy. Bringing wealth through fashion, arts, and luxury trade is something that you can do. In fact, not even in a direct way, but in direct and indirect way, you can be connected to beauty and arts and fashion and more of it, all this digital media, etc. This is a possibility if Venus is here. Venus gives very great results in seventh house. Remember this. And if Saturn is here, you will see that a very stable, serious. Sometimes, if Saturn is your Darakaraka and placed in the seventh house, then there is a possibility that you are having a spouse who's a little bit of elder, extra mature, like over mature, who will provide lot of material endurance, as well as you'll have gained lot of wealth through righteous contracts, partnership, and hard work. Saturn comes, hard work comes. Okay, I hope that you found a little bit of it useful. So understand there are two layers here. Number one is Darakarka is the planet that tells that what is the kind of wife you will get or husband you will get, spouse. Even it tells about the business partnership. So whatever I discussed, depending on the nature of the planets, you can have such traits. Secondly, it is also connected to wealth. So if these planets are here, and especially Saturn is the most, so it is in hierarchy. Saturn is number one, second is Venus, then is Mercury, then is Jupiter, then is Mars, then is Moon, and last is Sun. Sun is not that great here. Mercury is also not that great, but Sun is not that great as well. So depending on what Darakarka and what planets you have here, or any conjunction with Darakarka, we can see that how your life will manifest. Do comment below, let me know what do you feel about this place, what happens, what have you understood, and what do you expect more. All the best. Now, eighth house. Now, when we talk about eighth house, a very secret house, and it is second from the seventh. That means spouse is the source of income for you. After marriage, only these people start having a lot of success. Especially if you see that spouses in any field related to administration, anything to do in banking and finance, insurance, anything to do in terms of healthcare, medical, research, media entertainment, journalism, communication, teaching, occultist. This is the kind of spouse you can get here. Now here it also means that spouse acts like a banker. Banker means in every area of life. It means source of your family values in your relationship are your spouse. Here your in-laws also make a very big difference in your life. It shows that this person who has Darakarka in the eighth house, either in-laws have to do a very big karma for this person, or they have to do a very big karma towards the in-laws. So you can feel that if Darakarka is here, so either your in-laws will give you something which will completely transform your life, or either you will give your in-laws something like like something long term in their life, that they will always acknowledge your presence. And wealth, mostly for these people who have eighth house Darakarka, comes through very unearned means, such as inheritance, insurance, or the spouse's family's asset. You get everything. In fact, there is also possibility, and I have seen that lottery, if you play in partnership with your spouse, the lottery, if it is legal in your country, then you can expect during the antardasha pratyantardasha of Darakarka to expect monetary gains here. Now, this is also a very intense placement where material grounding undergoes your constant cycle of death and rebirth. So you will see that money comes, suddenly goes away. Money comes, then goes away. It is completely, and money will not transform you. Remember this placement. Darakarka in the eighth house, money will not transform you. It will transform people around you. You will make sure that you are investing in so many people around you that you say, I have not done anything myself. I'm only you know investing in people around me. The spouse also provides a very important and very deep energy that is required to handle like hidden money, making your material life a journey or a profound psychological evolution rather than you becoming greedy for money. The spouse comes here and they try to put value into you, that okay, you know what, this money is coming with God's grace, but this is the reason, how this is how we will use it. And the more secretive you are, the more better placement for you. The more open you are about your money situation, the more bad luck will come to you. This is the very simple logic of Darakarka in the eighth house. So if you have Darakarka here, make sure that you are quiet. You do not speak too much about your money. I have a lot of money, I have this, I have that. No, just be as quiet as you can. Now let's go into the planets. If Sun is your Darakarka, then you will see that a spouse is coming from a very, very great family lineage. They may bring, your spouse may bring their pushtani means their ancestral property into your life, and you will say, oh my god, I never expected this. And also favors from the government. You will see that in your marriage, when your marriage is happening, all the government personalities are coming and meeting you. That's the kind of Darakarka sun here that brings power. When moon is here, you will see that someone who's very intuitive, a partner with family secrets, someone creating wealth through joint assets and emotional healing. These people are the one who connect all the family together. If moon is here, they will be nurturing factor of whole family. They will be making sure that all the family are together. And they may not have evil feelings about other people as well, right? So that is good news. If Mars is here, then this becomes a very researcher, very rebellious spouse, someone who will manage crisis resources, bringing wealth through sometimes very intense fight. There is possibility that sometimes insurance, sometimes hidden investigation, sometimes blackmailing, sometimes emotional blackmailing drama is how they get money. But it is very good placement when it comes to a malefic. Mars is very good here. A rebellious spouse means that it will not make other people take advantage of you. That spouse will make sure they are intervening everywhere, and they will you know guard you. Mercury here, you will see a very secretive partner, very, dual nature partner who will handle your joint finances. They will be very interested in what money you earn, where it is, how much have you saved, whatnot. And they may be one who may be interested in occult studies. If Mercury is ruling this eighth house, they may be very interested in occult studies. That I want to learn occult. I got this remedy. Let's do this. They are very try. You will see that your spouse is very very experimental. They will do a lot of experiment, lot of research, lot of depth. They will try to get into readers, like prominent readers, prominent researchers, writers are what we have Mercury here. Now, if you see Jupiter here, you will see a very spiritually deep, very pure soul kind of spouse that you will get. And they do not get wealth in material form. They get wealth through historic wisdom. They have great wisdom. Whatever they are doing, whatever they do, they have great idea. They're so pure souls that you can't even, like, they are the one who will get moksha actually. If you have Jupiter Darakaraka here, and your spouse is supposed to get moksha, that kind of powerful, or someone who's on that verge of moksha, who has achieved everything, who knows everything, who are completely full of wisdom, is what you will see with eighth house here. And because Jupiter is also planet of lineages, you will see that they bring a lot of inheritance through lineages. They may in fact not even bring only monetary in this, they can bring intelligence also. Very good for having Jupiter here and creating kids with these people, because their kids who have Jupiter in the eighth house are extraordinarily very very intelligent, because the mother or the father have brought some very great, we can say, historic wisdom from their past lives. And that is, where it goes to lineage. Eighth house is the house lineage, it continues in the lineage. So it's a very powerful placement of your Darakaraka if Jupiter is the one. Then, when Venus is here, you will see a very seductive, very wealthy partner who manages your shared debt. Now, here there is possibility that the wife will be or the husband will be too demanding. They may be kamukha. Kamukha means they have a lot of kama vasana. They have a lot of sexual energy. They have a lot of desires here. And sometimes you will see that sudden gains more related to aesthetics, beauty, entertainment, arts, hidden things, like something to do with more of data analytics, data engineering, cyber security, something to do in terms of research, forensics, PhDs are the kind of people we will see Venus here. And diplomats also, someone who's working as raw agent, someone who's working as CIA agents. That kind of stuff is what we can see with Venus here. Venus is a diplomat, remember that. And when Saturn comes here, you will see a very serious spouse who will handle family legacies in very much, what you call dedication. Someone who is very connected to the family roots. They will come to your family and adapt all the what you say traditions, rituals, and they will start fitting in and blending in. Even if they are from a different culture or very orthodox culture, different culture, they will try to come and get included in your culture. This is what we will see here. And these people, because see, Saturn is a planet again of lineages, because its father is sun. So it is lineages. So here also you will see that grandparents, etc., they provide a lot of importance or money or whatever we call assets to their children here. So your spouse may get something from their grandparents, is also what we can see here. Okay, all the best. I hope that you understand what are these placements and how they act. It may be different for you because of combinations, conjunctions, aspects, nakshatras, so many layers to go. But these are general things which I feel I have seen over the past. So I would request and suggest that if you put below your ideas and your findings about your Darakarka in the 8,000, how does this resonate with you, or what do you think more? Please give me more pointers, because it will be very good for research. All the best. Moving on to the ninth house. Now, in ninth house, your Darakarka will serve third from the seventh. That means spouse who is very hardworking. Someone, you will see that they are always very younger in their spirit. They have a very fresh and young approach in their life. Very extremely intelligent, extremely high educated. Someone who has done their master's degree, or they are continuing their PhDs, is what you will find with the Darakarka in the ninth house. And especially these people, your spouse will have a guru. Your spouse will introduce you to some mentor or guru or teacher in your life that will bind you guys together, as well as that is the place, this is the placement from where you will evolve into a very higher spiritual because of your spouse. Now, if you want, if you, this is a spouse pattern, but when we look at only wealth, because Dharakarka is wealth, now where will the wealth come from? Wealth will come when it is about higher learning, like teaching, education. Secondly, it is about, global trade, anything that has to do with long distance trade, trading, commodities, we can say merchandising, anything like that. Then third is publishing. If you want to really make money here, and if by chance Mercury is here and your Dharakarka, then you please think about publishing something. If you publish, it will be very, very powerful for you. And the last option, which is never a foolproof, is to make a temple. If you guys make a temple here, depending if Jupiter is here, if Saturn is here, if Sun is the Darakarka, then this means that building a, or Mars is here, then means building a temple or building a religious institution is going to give you lifelong happiness related to wealth. The partner here may also sometimes come from a foreign land, or maybe from a very distant, very different, what you say, religious background or religious faith. So intercaste marriages are seen when it is seventh house lord in the ninth house. You will see that partner will expand your world through wisdom and travel, while your financial stability is anchored in your adherence to a higher law of dharma. Here, money is actually seen as a tool for expansion and the pursuit of truth. So it's not money that is coming for luxury here. Remember this. Ninth house money goes on righteous things. I just, like right now I'm dressed. I went to some small lunch where I met someone, a very rich, very, extremely rich guy, like extremely rich. I'm telling you now, rich means like wealthy, not even rich, wealthy. And he told me what is, I said, okay, so what are the plans now? But next year, my plan is that I will make a temple now here, very, very nearby. I said, why? He said, "Oh, enough, now a lot of money I made. I mean, I have 12 houses, all are 3 million plus. So now I'm thinking of making a nice temple so that everyone can come and enjoy that temple. Now see here, the Darakarka might be placed in the ninth house, where now they have earned a lot of money, but that money is now going towards a tool of expansion, spiritual expansion, making sure now it is time of giving. This is the realization that ninth house people will get in their lifetimes. With spouse coming from this place, it also means the spouse may know a lot of languages. Spouse may come from a field related to journalism, writing, teacher, can be a researcher, can be someone who's a travel freak, someone who is doing a lot of hospitality work, someone who's in, who's in a very leadership position in their workplace, like, because this is the house of mentors also, someone who's mentoring, psychologist, someone who's working with children. Psychologists are the placement that can come here. So a lot of pediatrician can be seen from the ninth house if their Darakarka is placed here. Moving on to see, when sun will be there, automatically a very principled spouse who will guide you to spiritual efforts. Now, here, if you want to make money, it has to be more of business, and business not like, forget about spouse. Spouse, I told you the character. It will be more of spiritual effort. Someone who's bringing that guidance for you. Someone who's bringing wisdom from their gurus to you. That is how it's like. This is my Guruji told me this. That is exactly this kind of placement. But here you may see that wealth will come through teaching, through global authority, global trade, global business, depending on what kind of other planets also you have. Sixth house, 10th house, a lot of things. When moon is here, you will see a partner who is very, very nurturing. Extremely, she will have a phase, like you'll see that a mother has come. Again, mother is reborn or a father is reborn for me. This is the kind of guidance, wisdom I get from my spouse. Again, very great placement for psychologists, anything, those who are working with the mind, any kind of mind games, any kind of mind related stuff, you may do very well and prosper if moon is in the ninth house. So also working with any kind of animal, products of milk and eggs and whatnot is also very good for this placement of moon. When Mars is here, you will see that you will get a proactive spouse who will build your fortune through skill. Like, there's not going to be a person who does not have a skill. They will have a lot of skills and they will be too aggressive to take action. They will always be very, very competitive when it comes to higher studies. They want to do learning. They want to, show off that I did this course, and they will put it on Instagram and or LinkedIn and whatnot. So very ambitious kind of spouse. You will get very authoritative also. Now, if you have Mars as Darakarka here in the 9,000, if you're thinking of starting a business, etc., then mostly in the engineering, and especially with the long distance, like with foreign countries, any engineering, any cybersecurity, engineering, data analytics, data science, Mars is related to pathology, Mars is related to, real estate. In these areas, you can have a great business. When Mercury is here, you will see that you will get a very learned and very super communicative spouse. Now depends, if Mercury is very benefic, yes, then if Mercury is malefic, then you'll have an introvert spouse as well. So depending on your Darakarka, you will find that placement or find that quality in your wife or husband. They may bring wealth, or you may also bring wealth, through publishing, through foreign associations, through foreign import export, through drop shipping, global, something courier, something that has to do with more of travel, freight, transport. This is the kind of things that may really matter to you, and you may make money in these areas, because ninth house is also the house of higher education. Mercury is connected to software also, so selling software, buying software is where you can make money as well. Brokerage fees is what you get here. A lot of people with Jupiter, automatically you have a guru like spouse who provides you the ultimate dharma, the creating wealth through religion, law, higher education. Very good. I would suggest, if you have Darakarka here, if your kids have Darakarka here, tell them to become a lawyer. If Jupiter is here or Saturn is a Darakarka, tell them to become a lawyer or a judge or judicial system. They will make great money and name and fame in their lives. That's what I have seen. When Venus is there, you will see that a refined, very international partner who makes your journey very beautiful. They may be interested in arts, luxury, travel, all this business class demands, all this, what is this called? All this Louis Vuitton and all this kind of demands from spouse, or maybe some luxury alcohol, whiskeys. These are the kind of thing that happens when Darakarka is in the ninth house Venus. But at the end, Venus also takes you towards liberation, towards that higher knowledge, because it is a guru after all. So it will take you toward higher knowledge. So in the beginning, it is all luxury. Then as soon as you grow, you will all get into completely dharma, spirituality. And Saturn is here, very traditional, very orthodox kind of a spouse, old school spouse, someone who's very disciplined. And they will bring luck to you through ethics only. They will not do any cheating here. So this is a very good placement. Also, I told you, anything that has to do with cold storage business, anything that has to do with long distance business, medicine business, cold storage medicines. I'm giving you all these ideas. If you have Darakarka here, think about all this. There may be possibility that you really gain something out of it. Okay, all the best. Do let me know below that who is your Darakarka, what do you feel about it? Is the quality of that planet reflecting in your spouse or not? So I will get a clear idea, and also share your experiences so that I can put it in my research, because this is not that high research that I have done like I did for Ketu, but this is also great research which I write down whenever I talk to people. When I ask them about their spouse, I write down whatever they are feeling, however they have got it. So all the best. 10th house. Now, here, very important placement. 10th house is the house of career. 10th house is the house where it shows that how you are feeling emotionally, physically, in your occupation, in your work. And this is, if Darakarka is sitting here, that means this makes a very significant impact, that, Darakarka or your spouse is connected to your occupation. Sometimes you find your spouse in through your occupation. Sometimes there is possibility that after your occupation you were married earlier, but now you find the real soulmate as well. So there is a lot of possibility here. Now this is fourth from the seventh, suggesting that the spouse will provide an emotional home and inner security that allows you to succeed in public eye. That means you will get such a supportive spouse that you can't even imagine how beautiful it is for you. Your wealth is almost always tied to government or power, authority, corporate status, and professional reputation. Is everything related to your, mental peace that your spouse gives to you. Or your business partner can also comes from, these kind of areas, who's tied to government, authority, corporate, has great professional reputation. Now you are coming together. So that is also seen here. See, here partner is hidden because partner stays in the background as your foundation, while you act as the public face. You're backed by your spouse, but then you are so powerful because if there is happiness at home, then there is happiness everywhere, which I feel. Now, materially, if you see, this is a period, this is a place where you are, always grounded because the structure of the society and the power, the ethics, the occupation that you're doing, it is a more of a social responsibility placement of Darakarka. It is not a placement of, we can say, it is not a placement of uh, extra money. And it is money is a byproduct of your work or the service that you're doing here. Now, in this situation, your spouse can be very extremely motivated towards work occupation. They may be doing very good in their workplace. Sometimes, if Darakarka is very powerful here, you will be known because of your spouse. That, oh, XYZ's husband, right? Oh, yeah, I know. The wife is doing too good. The husband is doing too good. Depend on who are you. So sometimes you are known. You get identity because of your spouse. Your spouse makes your public structure, or they give you a boost in your public structure. Even with your business partner, not only spouse, your business partner come, they are very known, and suddenly you also start becoming a part of a trend, a fame. All this comes to you in your life. And if you have Darakarka here, understand that this is a great placement for business. So whatever planet is here, let's understand all the planets and see what kind of business you can do. If Darakarka is in the 10th house, and especially if it is Sun, then it can be more powerful spouse who will bring a lot of government contacts, or a business partner that brings a lot of government contacts, people in power, authority, politics. You will be very suddenly you will see after partnership you are going very close to them, and your life has completely changed. From rags, you're going towards riches, towards that name and fame, towards an authority position where people will look at you and say that, what, any problem, let's go to him, he will have that contact. So if Sun is there, it is going to provide you a very powerful spouse who has the inner comfort to lead, someone who's a leader. And if you want to make wealth here, it has to be through government, through higher authority, through very breaking up, or well, I'm saying breaking up. I'm saying very big contracts from very large institutions, very powerful, something that really transforms other people's life is where you will be able to make great money here. Now, if Moon is here, you will see that a public facing partner you will get who will bring emotional stability to your career. So, this means that if there is so much stress at work, you will see a partner who will come to you, and that she will just say, okay, don't worry, all the stress, just really remove it from your life. And you will feel emotionally very, very satisfied that, okay, you know what, amidst of all this chaos, I have a partner who's so nurturing, just like my mother or just like my father. So that is the kind of feeling that you get when Moon is the Darakaraka. Now, always you will see that wealth will be associated to mass appeal, something that is very, very large, something that is very emotional. Here, if you have Moon as Darakaraka, if you want to start business on emotion quotient, like something which is emotionally connected to people, and see how your business runs super. When Mars is here, you will see a very disciplined spouse, someone who has inner strength and drives your rank, and very easily these people will come and fight with your enemies without you knowing about it. So they will be the one who will be ruining your enemy's life. If you see Mars being your Darakarka here, sometimes you may also see that your spouse is coming from any kind of military, any kind of police, forensics, IT, industrial, something that is doing more of mechanical, that kind of background as well. Real estate, someone who's owning real estate, someone who has drive to own real estate is what your spouse can be. If Mercury is here, a very professional partner who will manage your home status balance, someone who's very, we cannot say diplomatic, but someone who's very calculative. Your spouse will be too calculative, and this will be a pain in your understand, because you'll be saying everything cannot be calculation. There is some emotion, but they will always bring everything towards that structure. That no, this is how we will do. This is how it should be. So Mercury is very analytical partner. And they may also be interested in business. Sometimes while doing business you find your spouse. Sometimes while doing some trading, business, administration, you find your even in education, Mercury is a young planet. So sometimes such people who have Mercury's Darakaraka in the 10th house, in that karma bhumi, just you join your first job and you find a partner there. That is the kind of relationship that you may find here with Jupiter. Now, Jupiter is a very respected spouse who will build your public foundation of honor, someone who will always be a very big guide. And rather than you, people will come to you so that you can introduce them to your spouse, so your spouse can guide them. So, your peers, your friends, your colleagues may come to your contact just because they want to have a discussion with your spouse, or maybe they understand that spouse energy is very powerful and we'll be able to get some guidance from this person's spouse. Those who have Darakarka here, they may also find their spouse in the field of administration, anything to do with education, teaching, anything to do in terms of counseling. Jupiter is also related to, anything that has to do with religious activities, psychology. So you may find your spouse in these professions as well. When Venus is here, you will see a very social butterfly spouse. You will realize she's flying from this place to that place. He's flying from this place to that place. So you will always see that someone who will make your public life very luxurious. You'll have to very well, you know, you will be spending too much money with the spouse. You'll say, man, stop it. That is the kind of spouse that you may get here. Now here, if your spouse can come from fashion, media, anything to do in terms of diplomatic, government, anything to do in terms of more of aesthetics, maybe a dermatology, maybe medical, medicine is where you can find your spouse. Venus also rules something to do with gynecology, so gynac also. So a lot of great professions your spouse can choose. And if not, then combination of planets in the spouse's chart will give us more idea about what attracted. But there will be some Venus quality in her, if that is, or him, if it is related to what is Venus is your Darakarka there. And if Saturn, we will always see a very, very powerful inner discipline, very straight, very orthodox, very serious spouse who do not like too much fun. You will see that such people are working in one company for 20 years. Long term work of your spouse. If you want to do any business here, it is always great to do anything to do in terms of corporate for a long term, or even something to do with more of, law and order. Saturn is also related to heavy machinery, construction. So, labor, right? Very labor intensive work is what you can do very well, or you can lead a labor intensive unit. That is something if your Darakarka is in the 10th house. So I hope that you get it. If you have Darakarka in the 10th house, do comment below. Let me know how do you feel about it. What is your Darakarka? What do you have to say about it? And is anything resonating, or do you think you need more? More, you can add more value to it. That okay, yes, this is what we want more here, and this, that, whatnot. So all the very best. Have a great time. Now understand, I have done two layers of Darakarka. That is, one is your spouse. Second is it is also the significator of business partner, and third is significator of money. So all three aspects coming together. Now, 11th house, a very important house. It is fifth from the seventh. That means here your Darakarka, your spouse becomes your partner in crime. Very intellectual, very creative, someone who has someone who has very powerful, innovative ideas is your spouse. They may come to your life and gains may come to your life. That is exactly how it happens. This is one of the best placements for gains. While wealth flows from massive social networks and your spouse becomes that driver, either two ways, it is two ways to look at it. Either someone who will protect you from all the negative people in your social circle, or either someone who will take you to all the best possible people in your social circle. So after spouse comes here, many people may also anticipate many losing of many friends, because spouse understand that these people are energy vampires. They're sucking the blood out of this my spouse. So that's why this becomes very great placements. Someone who will act as not only your spouse but like your elder sibling, someone who has a lot of interest in your gains. Yeah, they can be very ambitious, very high on goals. They will always trouble you with goals, that this is our goal, we cannot go away from this, and such pain sometimes. But still, this is placement is all about fulfillment of desires. If you have Darakarka placed here, then understand, as soon as your marriage happens, your fulfillment of your desires start happening in a very nice way. Now here, if your Darakaraka is the 11th house, such good planets like Venus, Mercury, then it will be more of, the partner will bring a sense of fun and romantic intelligence to that material struggle. So it will be a witty partner rather than a serious one. And in this, your grounding is, for your aspirations. When money is a reward for your ability to influence large group of people, it is not a promise, it is a reward. That okay, I did this and I got this. Such people have to be associated with masses. Sometimes they find their partner through a social event or a social circle, from their social circle, friends to friends is where you find your partner. You will see that your partner is also influential when it comes to politics, because 11th house is the house of politics, because it includes masses. Some people who are activists, some people who are very high speakers, some are very spiritually very connected, some are connected to organizations. Remember, organizations which have very large number of devotees. That is the kind of spouse that you may get, and you may also get involved into it because of your Darakaraka taking you there. And you find out that the networking that happens is happening spiritually. You will see that spiritually. I have one client of mine. He's an insurance or W World Financial Group. He said that I was struggling, struggling, struggling. Like I don't know where to sell, what to sell, how to do it, how to do that. Then he said I became a devotee of an institution. I said, okay. He said, it is only for my greed, because once I became a devotee and started showing my devotion, everyone in that spiritual realm connected to me, because I'm a good singer also. So everyone used to say, you do the bhajans, etc. Now everyone started knowing me, and then they asked me, what do you do? I said, insurance. Then they said, oh, we have to do for us. So he said, my social, spiritual entry make me successful in my social, in my career, because this is that placement of Darakarka 11th house. Once you get into a mass product or mass place, automatically you will also start gaining from that. Okay, so if you want to really make money here, you have to go into large institutions and volunteer there. There you will find your ways out to make money. If Surya is your Darakarka, then you will see that you will get an influential spouse who's, creative spark, whose connections, who's possible knowing of people, people in power will bring you massive gains. And if you want to create any kind of wealth here, like on an individual level, because Darakarka is also the significator of wealth, then you'll have to go through leadership. In large networks, you have to go into leadership in large network. And such people who have Darakarka here, I've seen them CEOs of companies which are very, very large scale. If Moon is here, you will see a very popular, very creative partner who fulfills your desire. Everyone say, "Oh, this is the mother of the group," or "This is the kind of a father of the group," and you have gone here. So such associations brings a lot of nurturing in your life, especially in your social circle. They do not let you fall down. They really, really push you forward. That's the power of this, Darakarka here. If Mars will look, Mars is a very ambitious spouse. Someone who is very competitive, drives your profits. He says, no, this is not enough. You have to do more and more. Such people, if Mars is your Darakarka by chance, then you should collaborate with your husband or wife and start working, because then you are gaining wealth through technology, through group projects, through real estate, like all together. Very great. Mars is very good when it comes to, when together, when you form an army to function. If Mercury is there, you will always see a very brilliant, very analytical, very calculative social partner who will create wealth through their ideas. Social media, you can get your wife or husband on social media, something through Facebook, something through all these dating apps, shadi.com, etc., all these marriage apps is where you can find your spouse. Very much possible. Sometimes through communication, through travel, also you find hospitality. I have one client who does Darakarka, is not here, but I'm just saying I don't remember even where it is. He found his spouse, the girl, in a hotel. Like he used to go to Singapore regularly, and he found one of my client. She must be watching this video. If she watches every of my video, she was flying. She was an air hostess in a plane, and there was one person who was flying business class all the time. She was serving the business class, and finally they got married. So sometimes you get very unexpected places you get spouse, and this Mercury is responsible for this. When we talk about Jupiter here, you will see a very generous and a wise spouse who brings fulfillment for all goals. Now, this may be creating some spouse that may be a mentor or a guru to you. If Jupiter is your Darakarka, any place, your spouse is your guru. Whatever they say is right and whatever you say is wrong. As simple as, even if your Jupiter is your Darakarka, still they are, even if Jupiter is their Darakarka, then also it says that no, you lose, they win. So always remember, Darakarka is the guiding force for you for partnership, for relationship. When Venus is here, you will see a very fashionable, glamorous partner who will bring gains through artistic networks. They will have a lot of interest in perfumes, arts, entertainment. They will be very much interested in, aesthetics, luxury, luxurious items. And they may make you spend a lot of money in your social circle related to luxury, like decorating your house and all. And sometimes you say, oh my God, we have done more than what we could afford. That kind of placement is Venus here. And if you want to make very great money here, start digital marketing. Anything to do in terms of social media, digital marketing, fashion, merchandising, beauty brands, anything to do in aesthetics is where you will gain success as business. There are many other possibilities, but this is what I feel. And finally, Saturn comes here, a loyal, a very older spouse, someone who's very old soul, maybe younger than you, but very old soul, very mature, who will bring structured and long term associations in your social circle and bring profits also through that. Real estate is a very great option here. Construction is a very great option here. If you want to do individual business, then 11th house is anything, any planet here, you do business related to their nature and it will be very good for you. I'll explain you. My Darakarka is in the 8th house, Jupiter. Why am in this 8th house business only? Darakarka is giving money. There is no one else in your birth chart that can give you money except your Darakaraka. Or it will show you the way how you will get money. Remember this. It will show you the way how you will get money. So here you get monies through masses only. As simple as that. Something which requires social, even if you're working in isolation, so if Saturn is your Darakaraka, you may work in isolation, but working for 10,000 people, your product or your work will be affecting 10,000 lives, which will be like a mass appeal only. So you may be isolated, but the effect is a very mass level effect that we see. Okay, I hope that you understand the Darakarka concept. All the very best. Do comment below. Let me know what do you feel about your Darakarka, where it is placed, how it is placed, what are you feeling, and then we will discuss about it in detail as well. Sometimes if we talk one on one. 12th house. Now, when we talk about 12th house, finally, it is 6th from the 7th, showing a spouse whose daily life may involve struggle, service, health related themes, someone who's coming from a, very, very spiritual background, someone who's coming from healthcare, someone who's coming from very far away lands, like someone who's coming from a foreign country, is where this Darakarka can come from. Now, here this means that your spouse will be too generous. They will be high spender when it comes to charity. Your spouse will be like very giving, which is going to make sure that your wealth accumulation does not happen properly. Wealth will actually come from foreign lands. In fact, your spouse can come from foreign land. And in this cases, I have seen that when Darakarka is in the 12th house, you get an opportunity to go to foreign country and settle because of your spouse only. So that is a great way to look at it. Your spouse can come from, any work related to hospitals, spiritual retreats, communication. What is it called? Hospitality, travel industry, something to do in, all this historic yoga, meditation, Reiki, all this kind of field. This placement represents the spiritual evolution of the Darakarka, learning that money is the lowest possession by frequently having to let it go. Those who have Darakarka here have very great high spending. It may also be used for spouse's family, not only you. For the health of spouse's family, you may be the one who may be spending the money here. That is also possible. Because the partner has come to settle all your old karmic records, or what you say, or old karmic accounts. Your partner has come here to this lifetime to bring you from this bridge to the bridge of spirituality. That is the only role of this partner who has come to your life. Not only this partner, in fact, many people who have seventh house lord in the 12th house, sorry, Darakaraka in the seventh house, don't confuse, Darakaraka in the 12th house, such people may find their partnership relation to be very expensive. Like they can lose sometimes everything in a relation, in a partnership or in a relationship, because what has happened is that the partner or this spouse, the business partner or spouse, has come here to detach you from earth. Earth means money. Your desire becomes zero. If your Darakarka is in the 12th house, your desire is very zero. You are not very keen for bed pleasures. You completely get into like sannyasa mode, that okay, I don't care. It like celibate mode. Understand one more thing. With Darakarka in the 12th house, there is possible that your spouse may sometimes take a complete divorce or separation from you. They want to go away. They want to just, they have come to your life to show you a way, and sometimes take everything away from you and just go away, and then you are left all alone. So this is spiritually very good in the eyes of God, because then you are coming closer to God, but materially very bad when it comes to the material world. You're left of nothing. But since, or if mostly 75% of people who have Dharakarka in the 12th house may find a spouse in a foreign country or from a different culture, different religion, different faith, and they will try to adjust together. If you are both having the common point of moving to a very different altogether country, like you are born in, one is born in London, like UK, one is born in Singapore. Now you both get married and you think, let's move to US. Then this is a good placement. At least you have managed all your isolation and you have come to a place more isolated, which will not give you very bad effects. So that is a way out of this Darakarkas. Now if sun is your Darakarka, then you will see a very soul searching spouse whose service settles your karmas. They will make sure that they are completely giving to this world. And wealth, if you want to make wealth through foreign association with foreign government. If you make any collaboration, you will start making wealth. If moon comes here as a Darakarka, you will see a psychic spouse, a psychic partner who will know everything in before it is happening. So you will see that, someone who's very secluded, and they will not spend your money, they will spend emotions, they'll bring you under that emotional debt. And the best profession for this 12th house is going to be, being a spiritual guide or a spiritual healer or a yoga teacher or a meditation or someone to doing nursing or doctor, medical. These are the professions that can give you great wealth if Darakarka is in the 12th house. Now, a Mars is here. This is a very private person, a very disciplined spouse who will handle your losses and be very determined that, okay, if losses are there, I don't care. I will handle it. I will work more powerfully. I will, fight here and make our miserable life into a very, wherever malefic come to the 12th house, it is good only. Remember this, because it is the ability to fight disaster. Wealth can come through foreign associations, IT, engineering, machinery, heavy machinery, something to do in trading, something to do in terms of hospitals, blood, all these machines, what you call this heavy machines used for medical or aesthetics, more of dermatology, beauty, blood related medicine machines, everything like that. Pathology, to be very precise. When Mercury is here, you will see a very reflective partner who will manage your foreign trade and secrets. They will be the one who will be like a messenger for you. They will give you information from every area. They are, we call Narad Muni to people who have Darakaraka. Narad Muni is the one who is son of Brahma, the mind-born son of Brahma, and he travels all over three places, collecting one information from here, giving here, one information from here. So your spouse will be that one, always having some gossip, some information about something outside. Now here, a very behind the scenes, secretive brokerage, trading, something to do with more of merchandising, more of naturopathic is good for you. Some like out of thousand, I'm telling you three, four, five, because right now they are in the top of my mind. Jupiter, you will see that someone who's a very saintly spouse, someone who's very, very trustworthy. You can trust everything on that spouse. They will completely guide you towards material detachment. It does not mean you'll not have money. Jupiter here makes great money, great real estate. It gives you, removes all the debt from your life, because if Jupiter is Darakaraka, it will have aspect on the fourth, sixth, and the eighth house. So it will make sure all the problems from your life are gone away. You will have great property and all. But after this, that material detachment happens when Jupiter or any kind of like Ketu is not a Darakaraka, but any other wisdom oriented planet comes to the 12th house. So your spouse is very wisdom oriented. They will make you or bring you towards right spiritual guidance, and they will be heavy on charity, huh? They will be very keen to donate in places related to education, related to animals, related to books, related to, we can say, foreign places. That, Africa, there's hunger, let me send there something. This is the kind of placement you have in the 12th house. Same way Venus is there, you will have a very hidden, see, spiritual partner who will settle karmic debts through pleasure only. They will say it will be an expensive spiritual retreat for you. Jupiter is going to be manageable, Venus is going to be expensive. Wealth will come, sometimes through foreign countries only. Mostly Venus is very comfortable in a foreign country, so here you may relocate to a foreign country and you will start generating wealth in a foreign country. And very great placement for something who wants to become a dermatology, who want to get into skin, who want to get into, Venus is also related to eye optometrist. 12th house is also the eyes, so these are the areas which you can make money from. And when Saturn is here, a very cold spouse. You will have very cold response from your spouse in every aspect of your life. You will say, whatever I do, cold response. There is no, the sacrifice is very big. The spouse will make sure that no harm happens to you. They will do a lot of sacrifices. But when it comes to response, it's very cold. Such people are very secretive, very silent, very isolated. They do not like all this show business. And as long as you are disciplined in a foreign country or disciplined in your work, then you will get any area of life, you will get success. All the rest, do comment below. Let me know what is your Darakarka, where is it placed, what kind of monetary benefit or monetary significance it holds to your life from that particular house. I'll be waiting for you. Thank you so much. All the very best. And see you in some other video with some more insights. Till then, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Hanuman, Jai Mata Di, Jai Ma Lakshmi, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.